So okay guys, this is a JavaScript introduction to JavaScript lesson 1 series, which is like the part of our web development course, and this is the first lesson, the introduction to JavaScript, where we explain what JavaScript is to you, what you need to know about JavaScript, and how it can be of help to you. So if you have been following this series, this is the continuation of the 2025 web development course that I've created. You can see the link directly in the description. And without too much discussion, let's just go down to what we need to do today. So this is going to be our course outline for today. I'm sorry, I think I lost something there. Okay, so this is going to be okay. So I think I lost something there. Okay, so the first question we are going to ask ourselves is, what is JavaScript? Now, many people are going to be confused of what is JavaScript. So heading over to Web3 school, so JavaScript is defined as a programming language for the web, which is the most common definition you will get when using JavaScript, the programming language for the web. And JavaScript can update and change both HTML and CSS. JavaScript can calculate, manipulate, and validate data. So the most common thing you see people tell you that JavaScript is a programming language for the web. It's a programming language created for the web. You can't do any web development without using JavaScript. You have to use JavaScript because it helps the client side. And well, almost that's true, but not completely true. JavaScript is not just for the web alone. You can use JavaScript to do many other things. We're actually going to go to other. We're actually going to go to that later, and I want to ask the next question you're going to ask yourself is: so, what is JavaScript against other programming language? Why should I choose JavaScript against other programming language? Where there is Python, there is C Sharp, there is C++, Java, and Rust, Ruby, and the rest. So why should I choose JavaScript against other programming language? Now, I'm not going to tell you to choose JavaScript against other programming language. In fact, I will advise you, if you want to be a very highly valued developer in this new age, you need to learn more than one programming language. But we are going to be starting with JavaScript because we believe it can do a lot. Okay, so um, coming here to C#corner.com, it says that JavaScript is a high level interpreted programming language primarily used for front-end development. Like, I love the definition here. It's primarily used for front-end development. It's designed to add interactive and dynamic elements to static web page, allowing developers to create engaging user experiences. So this is like the most important. Like, was majorly what JavaScript was created for, but that was not anymore. JavaScript has moved above that level, and JavaScript has become more efficient and become a more better programming language. So you can use JavaScript to do many things, and that will also push us to the concept of JavaScript framework. So for instance, if you should come here now, this is Nest.js. NEST Nest.js. There is NEXT Nest.js. So this is Nest.js. It says a progressive Node.js framework for building efficient, reliable, and scalable server-side applications. So this is telling you, oh, if you want to be JavaScript is known for client side. In other words, it's just run on the browser. That's what many people say. JavaScript runs on the browser. JavaScript runs on the browser. I'm going to show you how JavaScript actually runs on the browser because we are going to be using that a lot. So, but you can also use JavaScript to create server-side application that you can use it to create back-end application. Are you getting it now? So you can use JavaScript to create back-end applications, and then we have another one called Electron JS. Now, Electron is actually used to build desktop application. It says build cross-platform desktop application with JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So Electron is a JavaScript framework that is used to create desktop applications. So we have a JavaScript framework that is used to create server-side application. We also have a JavaScript framework that is used to create desktop application. And then we move to another one, which is like the most popular one, known as React. React is the library for web and native user interface. So this was created by Facebook about 10 years ago and has become the most popular web development framework. And React has gained the heart of many. It's used to build web, it's used to build front end applications, and it's majorly has a lot of libraries that you can that assist you to build your UI, which is user interface, easily. And then we have the next one, which is React Native. So React Native is more like the mobile version of React. So it's used to build scalable React app, used to build mobile applications for maybe iOS device, or maybe maybe for iOS device or for Android. And then we have another one, TensorFlow. Now I love this one very well. So TensorFlow is a JavaScript. TensorFlow JS is a library for machine learning in JavaScript. So if you want to build maybe AI, I want to build some machine learning programs, TensorFlow is there. So we are using JavaScript to learn server side, Nest.js to build desktop app, to build web app, to build mobile app, to also build machine learning, which is also known as AI, and then build decentralized application, also known as DApp, on any EVM. EVM should be Ethereum virtual machine with TypeScript. Okay, so now you're talking about TypeScript. I'm going to explain what TypeScript is, but TypeScript is JavaScript with type. So we as this Web3 JS is trying to tell you that, oh, you can build decentralized application. Those of you who are into crypto understand what a decentralized application is. It's more like the Web3 world, those that deals with the crypto and the rest like that. So JavaScript is also doing some Web3 application for us. Then I have another one here that is known as Cylon.js. Cylon.js, JavaScript robotic by your command. Now, in other words, this, if you want to build a robot like physical robot, this one is majorly a machine learning, while this one is majorly physical robot. You can also use this JavaScript framework to program your work. So JavaScript alone has and do different kind of thing. The reason why I just decided to introduce this is because though this is a web development class, but I don't want you to just stay at the web development level. I want you to open your mind that you can use JavaScript to do many things. There are other popular JavaScript framework that I've not mentioned: Nest.js, Remix. We have Medusa.js, and there are plenty like that. So I just listed this out so you can see that you can use JavaScript to do different kind of thing to show you it's worth learning. More reason is because we are focusing more. I'm focusing more. This is Etas.js. Etas.js is it takes use of JavaScript to do some blockchain, also Web3 world and the rest like that. So we are focusing more on what we are going to be doing. We are going to be doing on JavaScript. We are focusing more on JavaScript. We are not focusing more on. We're focusing more on JavaScript, unlike every web development course that just want to teach you the HTML, the CSS, and then teach you how to manipulate the DOM. We are going to focus more on the JavaScript. So the next thing here is to write your first JavaScript lines of code. Okay, now I understand that JavaScript is not used majorly for web, but we are going to be using JavaScript for the web this time around. Why? Because this is a web development class. So if you go to jsfido.com, jsfido.net, jsfido.net, I hope you can see it here, jsfido.net, and then you sign up. Make sure you sign up, and when you're done signing up, you can just create a workspace. Now you have some options here. You have HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So majorly what you need to create any web app is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Don't worry, we are going to go to proper coding environment like VS Code very soon. But for now, I don't want us to do too much. We just want to take it one step at a time. Now, come down here, click on this Tailwind check boxes. Now, you're not supposed to use Tailwind to learn when you're just starting. I agree to that, but just click on it. We are going to focus more on Tailwind CSS in this course rather than the vanilla CSS. Why? Because Tailwind makes styling easy, and I love Tailwind. So when I click on this, it's going to take me to a Tailwind working environment. Verify your movement this week. Oh, okay. So we are in. So let's continue. So you might not understand how Tailwind work yet, but in Tailwind we don't need um you don't need CSS file. You understand? You write your styling with your HTML. I know some of you might not understand what I'm saying, but I just want to focus on JavaScript. Yeah, I don't want to do too much. I just want to focus on JavaScript, and I want you to complete your first line of JavaScript code. Just code along with me. So when I highlight all the HTML file and I delete and I click on run, you see an empty output here. So HTML is like the body of everything you are building. You understand? It's like the skeleton rather. So if I should just put a button, this is how you put a button in HTML. Those of you that already know HTML, good for you, and those of you that already know CSS, you should be able to follow this class easier. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a click me, and then enter run, and then you see a click me button here. So next thing you're going to do is just to add some styling to it. I'm going to say class, we're going to say we want the text to be black, the text to be white rather, we want the background to be black, we want the font size, we want the text size to be of 2 extra large, or let me say extra large. Let me run it so you can see the update. Okay, and I'm going to put some space in between the click me and the background. So I'm going to say padding x of 3 and padding y of 2. Let me see. Yeah, it's making sense, right? Now I'm going to bring it outside a little bit because I don't like the way it's too, to join to the edge. So I'm going to say margin left of 3, or let me say of 10, and margin top of 8. Then when I run it, okay, so it's now out. Let me remove the margin top. Let me reduce it to 3. I think it's better that way. Okay, so next thing I can do, I will say rounded. Let me cut this down here. So rounded of large, and is there anything I want to do? So I'll say font of bold, and just to make the font bold, and I think that should be good. Okay, I love this way. So whatever styling I'm going to do again, I'm going to say I want to, when I over, and over is going to become text of green dash 400 for 500. Let me run it and see. Oh, sorry, text. Let me make it background. It's going to be bg background run. Okay, let me just leave it this way since we are not talking about thing with CSS, or we are talking about styling yet. So if when I click this button, nothing happen. I click this button, nothing happen. I click this button, nothing happen. But let us do something. Let me just say, for now I can say function click me, and I say alert. I'm going to put in string, the button is working. So let me run this. When I click this, it's still not going to do anything. It's still not going to do anything. It's still not going to do anything. But let me come down here and say, after this quotation mark, I'm going to say on click is equals to click me. Yeah, let me see. Now click. What it's saying click me is not defined. Why is click me not defined? Function click me. I don't know. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to put a dot here. I'm not supposed to put a dot here. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll just run this and then click. So it's going to alert. It's going to alert the button is working. I can also come here and say window dot alert. It's still going to give me the same result. If I should save this and then click this, it's still giving the same thing. The button is working. But if you should sit down here, you see something called console. I'll teach you how to use a console later. This is not an actual console. This is just an online coding editor which has a lot of limitation compared to when you're using the actual VS Code or other advanced um, um, coding tools. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to say console.log the button is working. So I'm going to save this, and when I click me, I'm going to see the button is working. The button is working. I keep seeing it. The button is working, and it keeps counting it here for me. The button is working. So we are going to do something maybe more advanced. For instance, I want to make this button generate a random number for me. Let me, I think let me do something like this, and then something like this, so you can see the HTML file. Since we are focusing more on this JavaScript, so I want to make the so I zoom in. So I want to make the HTML. I want to make this button generate a random number for me. Let me increase it. I think increasing it is okay. So I want to make this button generate a random number for me. How am I going to do that? I'm going to use the JavaScript built-in function called Math.flow. Then I'm going to say Math.random. I know you don't understand this stuff yet, but I'm going to say times 100. So this actually will generate a random number for me, but I have not saved it in a variable. I have to save it in a variable and say const random number is equals to math.flow math.random times 100. Math.random will generate a random number for you. Times it by 100. Math.flow will bring it to the nearest whole number. We are still going to talk about the math function in JavaScript later in the series of this video. So if I should come down and say console.log random, I made a mistake in random. Console.log random number. So I save this by clicking run, and then I click. I have 30. This is 2 4. Remember, my random number can never be more than 100 because I'm placing it by 100. As that, I save them on this console just like that. Okay, so I can go a step further and say a string value is equals to, this is invalid JavaScript. I have to come and say const string value is equals to the random number is then I'll put a space before it. So I'm going to say the random number is 2, the random number is 3, the random number is 4. So I'm going to say content, or let me say const paragraph is equals to the string plus the random number. The string plus the random number. Are you seeing the way we are plusing it? So we are going to have the random number is whatever the random number is, 1, 30, 93 or anything. So if I should console log the paragraph and save this. Is it saved? Okay, I think it's saved right now. So the random number is 9, the random number is 10, the random number is 44, the random number 52, the random number is 24, blah, and keeps going like that. Okay, now I don't want to print this to the console. Okay, I want to actually print it to my HTML file. How am I going to do that? First of all, I'll have to create a p tag, and then I'll now store this paragraph inside the p tag. Let us do that together. I can say something like document.query selector, document.create element. Create element. What kind of element do I want to create? I want to create a p tag. So remember, you have to always store your work in a variable. I'm going to teach you that later. Const p tag, or let me say, yeah, const p tag is equals to document.create element p tag. Now we've created the element p tag, and we have to create a test node that say test content. Why do I keep forgetting this? I keep forgetting this. Const test content is equals to document dot create test node. Now I want to pass in, if I can create the test node and say some new string. Let me spell my name very well. Some new string. So I have created a p tag, and what is going to be in that p tag is some new string. I know you don't know what a p tag is. This is what a p tag means. It means something like this, and then okay, and then say the random number is 16. So this is what I'm just trying to say. You're going to have it around here. The random number is 17. So this is the p tag. This is what I created. So some new string. This is what you're supposed to have here, some new string. But I'm not going to do this from the HTML. I'm going to do it from the JavaScript. So I'm going to say create test node. What should be our test node? The paragraph that we have created, that should be our test node. Then we're gonna say something like p tag dot append child. Append this child and say append your test content. Now when you append your test content, you can next thing is to now take this p tag that now has the paragraph in it. It has the paragraph in it. You now to take it to your document. So you're gonna say document dot body dot append child. What am I tagging inside? I'm putting the p tag inside. So if I should save this and click, the random number is 80. You also have the same thing in your console. The random number is 61. The random number is 37. Blah blah blah. We have many of them like that. So click me. Different random number keeps showing. Okay, so let me save this. It's going to wipe up all the random number. But if for instance you don't like the way too many random numbers just come in, you just want to maybe one random number at a time, when you click just one random number at a time, what are you going to do? We can now come here. When we've created the p tag, we can check, I can say yeah, I can say if there is a p tag, do something, then p tag dot remove. I don't think I'm supposed to write this function here. I think it's supposed to be after. It's supposed to be after this one. But let me see if it's going to work. Let me save this. Do you have any error in the console? We don't have any error in the console. It's not saving. What's wrong? Sorry. If there is a p tag, okay, we are still generating random numbers. There's something I just need to do. Sorry. I can say, come here and say p element, yeah, const p element is equal to document dot query selector. That's where I got it wrong. Sorry, I know where I got it wrong now. Query selector, and I want to select the p tag. Now I'm saying if there is a p element, if there is a p element, what should we do? I want to remove the p element. Let me save. Is it save? Why is it not saving? Something wrong. Okay, so it's working. So what is this doing here? I wish we can minimize this. Okay, let me just bring this down a little bit and then bring it down. Now what we did here is we said document.query selector p tag. In other words, check the entire document if we have any p tag, of which we don't have in our HTML file. If we have any p tag, remove that p tag. When we remove that p tag, then we are now going to send a new p tag. So it's going to replace the random number is 26, the random number is 7, the random number is 98, blah 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 blah, blah like that. So that's it for that. Or I can come here and write this same function, cut it out, and then I can come here and say function clear p tag, and then I'm going to drop this here, and then when I come here I'm going to call this function and say clear p tag. Okay, and save this. It's just an online code editor. I don't know why it's taking too many time. So you see, it's still doing the same function. I brought it to a new function and then I clear it. For instance, I can remove this clear here, and then I can create another button. I can create another button. So I can say clear. Give it some styling and say class of PG of red dash 500. Let me say test of white, and font dash semi bold, and what else again, test of large, and I'll make the rounded of small, and py of 2, px of 3. Let me save this. So we have a clear button, and I can give it some space before it and say margin left of 6. So we have a clear button. I think the text should be something of text of extra large to make it big, and I don't like the padding at the top. Do we give it some font weight? We gave it some font weight, semi bold, or should we just make it bold? Let's just make it bold to make it big. And so around there, let me make it a little of large. Let me see. Okay, so the random number is 90, the random number is 86, 46. We have many of them there just like that, and you can come back and say on click is equals to this clear p tag is equals to clear p, capital letter P, don't make that mistake, and put it to show that it is a function, and then save it again. The random number is 64. I want to generate as many random number, we have plenty now, and clear is going to be clearing them one by one. I know you can see them at the bottom, but I believe it's clearing them. If it's not clearing them, then my code is wrong. No, it's actually not clearing them. I don't know. On click is clear p tag. If there is a p element, remove the p element. Let me say console.log clear button is working. Clear button is working. Let me remove this console log here, so we'll not be having to console add to this thing run. So the clear button is not working. Oh, sorry, I think there should be, yeah, this is where the error is coming from. It should not going to be non-click, it's supposed to be on a click. So let me save this. Okay, you can use the control save, or you click on the run button to save anytime you like. So another number is 27, and we have some bunch of them here. I think we should have plenty now. Yeah, so if I should click clear, it keeps clearing them. So what if I want to make this clear button to clear all at once? I don't just want it to, clear one by one. What am I going to do? Yeah, very simple. So I'm just going to come back to this clear p tag function which is attached to this, the on click of this second clear button. Then what am I going to do now? This selector is going to be selector all, and if there is p element, I'm going to say p dot I'm not going to say p.remove, because if you just do p element.remove, it's not just going to work. We have to select everything one by one and then delete everything at once. So I'm going to say for each, this is a JavaScript array function. I know you've not learned that, but we are going to do that later. So I can say p, and then for each of the p, I want to remove it. And then let me save this. I don't know why it's not saving. Let me just use the control button to save. Control S. Okay, I think it's done now. Click me, click me, click me, click me. We should have numerous now. And then clear, should clear everything at once. Yes. So it's clearing all the p tag that we have in the document body. Clear. So I hope by now you should have a clear understanding of how JavaScript works. You've learned how to assign using the const. I'm going to show you we have const, let, and we have var. I'll show you what each of them does. But you've learned how to assign a variable using the const. You've learned how to create a random number using the math.flow and the math.random. You've learned how to create a string, learn how to assign a string with the random number. You learn how to create a p tag without using the HTML, using JavaScript. Learn how to assign a text content to that p tag, and then you learn how to apply that p tag to the body, to the document.body, which will come, it's going to come after this button, because the HTML file, when you have your HTML file, you have style, you have body, and then you have script. So it's going to fall in between the bodies. So that is why when I click this, the document is going to fall to the body of the HTML. And then you also learn how to remove a single p tag or a p element, and you learn how to remove all the p elements. So this is a basic way of understanding what JavaScript can do with the web. So those of you who might always want to build a to-do list app, I think you have a clear understanding of how to create a to-do list app now, whereby you can create a list of what you want to do. You can delete one, you can send one, mark one as done, you can mark one as not done, you can delete. So this is a perfect example of how you can delete all item, and how you can delete one item. I did that already. So that will be all for the introduction to JavaScript class. Please stay tuned for the next class. Thank you very much.